sorry it took so long, but we have an interesting topic I want to talk about today. What if there was a Super Mario Party 2? Now, I just want to say real quick that isn't me trying to say I'm ready for a new Mario Party game. I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I would highly love that. But just looking at what Super Mario Party did and what Mario Party Superstars did over that, it just gets me excited at the potential future of Mario Party. And I also want to say this isn't my predictions for what I think would be in a future Mario Party. This is just kind of like if I was given the captain's hat or whatever, I don't know, what I would do with Mario Party. And in this case, I would make it just full on Super Mario Party 2. I don't know when or if it's coming out, but whenever it does, it'll be exciting regardless. This is just my take on it. So, with all that out of the way, let me show you guys what you're probably most interested in seeing: the characters. I Now this is definitely a smaller roster than Super Mario Party, but bigger than Mario Party Superstars. I felt like the Super Mario Party roster kind of felt like they were trying to overbloat it a little bit. While Mario Party Superstars, it felt like they were trying to simplify it, but that's really all it is. It seems like it's just the basic Mario cast, plus Birdo finally being allowed to do basically anything again. But I want to get a bit into my character choices here, especially because there's definitely some interesting things to point out. First of all, my number one, I wouldn't say number one priority, but it was definitely higher up there, that I wanted to go back to kind of what the earlier Mario parties did, where every character had their own color. And just because this game, I want a bigger focus on customization. And I'll get a little more into that. But in like a lot of the Mario Party games, and it's kind of obvious why it's easier to do, and it's definitely way harder to do a system like this. But if you're player one, your character's color is always going to be red. Your player two, it's going to be blue, so on and so forth. But here, it's kind of like your character's color and what the color of the different things they use will depend on what their character's color coded into the game is. Like, probably the biggest example I could think of would be the mini game. Oh, I can't remember what it is. The one, Trace It, I think, where like you're drawing and you're tracing the path the best. I imagine something like that, where like your character's crayon color is dependent on which character you're using. Like Mario would always use a red crayon, and Daisy will always use a yellow crayon, and so on and so forth. And I know there's definitely a few color variations in there, like I have 3 greens and 2 reds, and brown and orange can sometimes look a little too similar, but overall, I think it would be pretty cool and pretty fun. Now, what did I mean by character customization? Well, I want maybe a slightly more focused reason on why you would pick a specific character. Obviously, I don't know. I don't want to go back to the dice blocks, although I would not be against it. But just kind of like every character feeling like their own. And that comes into I want another thing is that in not Super Mario Party, in Mario Party Superstars, you get stickers, right? But like every single character has like 3 stickers that are specifically for them. And I want that entire system to be carried over. And on top of that, I think it would be cool if every single one of these characters had their own unique costumes they could unlock. 3 for each, and it wouldn't be colors. I wouldn't want it to be, oh, Yoshi can also be red Yoshi. Or, oh, Mario can also make his cap white and be Fire Mario. These would be like actual full on costumes. It'd be kind of like Mario Party 2, except those costumes were board specific. These are going to be tied to characters and could do and go wherever. Now, some of you probably have a few questions like, why is Bowser Jr. playable instead of Bowser. And that's because in Super Mario Party, when they did have Bowser playable, they couldn't have Bowser spaces anymore because he was on the board. Bowser obviously couldn't be affected by a Bowser space. So it was replaced with the unlucky space and was ran by Kamek. And he has no personality, to say the least. So Bowser needs to be back there, but I put Bowser Jr. here for two reasons. First of all, I'm biased, and he is my favorite Mario character of all time. You can't stop me from wanting Bowser Jr. to be in a good Mario Party game, especially because he's only been in two, one of which, yeah, it didn't need to exist, and the other one, Super Mario Party, it's decent. You'll never hear me say I don't like Super Mario Party. Super Mario Party was a fun time, and I definitely enjoyed my time with it. I remember going on a trip and trying to round up my cousins on the summer vacation to try and play with me, given this is like almost adult me trying to get like younger cousins interested in Mario and just like, why is that weirdo doing his weirdo thing? But it was a good time. And you'll never hear me talk trash about Super Mario Party because of that. So I want Bowser Jr. in, but I can't have Bowser in because honestly, he needs to be back at those bad luck spaces. They need to be Bowser spaces again. On that note, I think it'd be cool if the luck spaces were still luck spaces, but if like Sprixies would flow around to let it feel a little more magical. That's one problem I had with Super Mario Party is that it felt bland. It felt like it had no character. I mean, obviously it had like a really great roster, but like the game itself did not have a personality. And that's a big focus I want on this as well, which is why I want characters to have costumes. And when and where possible, I want those costumes to come from specific places. I feel like I'm jumping all over the place very drastically right now, but there's definitely a number of characters that you can go, why aren't they here? Like, Dry Bones has become a pretty essential part of any Mario Party. Toad and Toadette. Pauline has become super popular. Goodness gracious. Not that I love Pauline. She's great. But I did not expect for her to get on like she did. That was awesome. But at the same time, I feel like this is a more concise roster. I feel like this is done to a point where it's not overbloated, but at the same time, it's not like a dull roster. You have like random interesting picks, like Petty Piranha. Like I just thought that would be an out there thing. Some of you are probably wondering why I chose Boomerang Bro and Hammer Bro's been playable in previous Mario Party games. It's because I wanted the color blue, and he fits down there with the bad guys. You're probably wondering why I put Birdo down there too. The one and only like actual game she's been in, or like being a good or bad guy mattered at all, she was a boss. Lots of people forget that. So I don't think it'd be too far fetched to put her down there. I don't know, call me stupid, but it allowed me to put her on this roster, and that's another girl. So yeah, that's everything I want to say about the characters. Let me know what Mario Party characters you want, by the way, but we're moving on to my favorite part, the boards. I came up with 6 fabulous ideas here. Each of them is a little more complex than the last. Party Central would be basic Mario Party board. I think the theme of it is best shown not through it's best shown through the idea of what Times Square in New York City is like on New Year's Eve. Just black, just like nighttime city. All the lights are on, fireworks, confetti. It's a party. It's going to be a great time, and it's basically your beginner's board. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to have any tricks up its sleeve. I don't know what the proper balance for this would actually be. I imagine like every 3 turns, every space could have a coin placed on it. and then you just walk over the space. You don't have to land it. You just walk past the space and you grab whatever coin's there. And whenever another 3 turns pass, it does that again, and it stacks. So like if there are spaces that no one got to within those 3 turns, well now there's 2 coins on those spaces. And I thought that would be interesting because I wanted to do another aspect of cities people typically think of, going in the back alleyways and the druggies and the thieves. Obviously, there wouldn't be druggies in a Mario Party game, but I thought it would be cool if I'm glad Mario Party Superstars brought this back. Boo, and how he steals coins and stars. However, I think it'd be cool if that role was given to Nabbit. It's obvious why it didn't happen with Mario Party Superstars because it's nostalgia trip. Of course, they wouldn't do that drastic of an overhaul, but I guess they did do that with King Boo. But that's not too drastic. Nabbit, he's a more modern Mario character, and he's known for his thievery. I think that would be cool. But if you go in that back alleyway, that's the only place where you can go to get Nabbit to steal coins or star for you. But if you happen to land on an event space, Nabbits will come, they'll steal a few coins from you, and they kind of chase you out of there. So I thought that'd be cool. And then at the same time, I think it'd be cool, like one more special event thing to make this board pretty special. I feel like it'd be cool, like the 4 corners of the board, there could be like a firework, like a giant firecracker. And if you land on the nearby event space, you can make everyone else have to pay you to watch the fireworks. And I feel like that would be so cool. Banana Village, it I haven't come up with too many ideas for this. So maybe let me know if you have any interesting extra things to say about Banana Village. But it's basically like this treetop village that is made completely of tree houses in the jungle. I've always loved that village from Star Wars with the Ewoks. I've always thought that was a cool concept, and I've always wanted to see it in more places. I especially thought it would really work in a Mario setting thanks to Donkey Kong, but we really haven't seen much of that. And so I would love to be able to get more of that. In a Banana Village, the only actual thing I could think of is how I would want it to be one of the few boards where you could go like any direction. Like you're on a path, you can be moving left on it or you can be moving right on it. The game itself will remember which direction you're initially headed on it, and then you'd get to a 4-way intersection. You can choose if you want to go up, if you want to go down, or if you want to keep going straight. Something like that. But then every now and then, every few turns, a Yukiki would come, and it would throw a banana peel in the middle of an intersection or two. And if you run through the intersection, when you approach the intersection, you would slip on the banana peel and be forced to go in that direction as well as lose a few coins. But on top of that, you could also pay a Yukiki to leave a banana peel in a specific place. You'll lose money for paying him to do that, but you could force other players to trip up into that. While at the same time, the game would remember, hey, you were the one that paid for that banana peel to be there. So of course your character would remember, hey, I put a banana peel here. So they would still be able to stop and choose which direction they want to go because they're being cautious of the banana peel that they placed. Of course, obviously, once one person were to slip over the banana disappears. That would be a little too overpowered if it didn't. I can't think of any other gimmicks I would want to do though, but there's definitely so much more that could be done with a theming like this, and it's really kind of dumb how they haven't done something like that. Now, the next one, Crystal Mines. So, stars are worth 20 coins, right? That's how it should have been in Super Mario Party. That's how it was in Mario Party Superstars. That's how it's been in every other Mario Party game. That's how it was in the first 2 boards. In Crystal Mines, I would make it 5 coins to get it. And before you get crazy, it's because getting a star in Crystal Mines would be somewhat luck based. Let me explain. So you get to the where the star is. The star doesn't move at all. It stays in the same place. So I guess the board is kind of circular, but get up to where the star is, you pay 5 coins, and then you walk up to the. Don't pay 5 coins for the star. You pay for 5 coins to get a chance at the star, and because it's crystal mines, I want to mix mining into it. So when you pay your 5 coins, you walk up to the wall, and you can choose to mine out one part of the wall, and the wall is set up in a bit of a 5 by 5 grid. And you could choose where on the wall you want to mine, and wherever you mine, that hole is left for the next person to walk up. So if you don't get the star, the next person to try and get the star now knows where not to go. And on top of that, every single wall will have 2 stars, but there'll also be coins in there so you can get your money back if you're lucky enough to not get a star, but still not have too unfortunate of luck. And then I think it'd be cool if like a bomb could be in there. And if you get the bomb, it blows up the entire wall, and you have to start again. And I think it'd be cool to throw in that little bit of luck because it's something that Mario Party is really known for. It's luck basedness, and so I'd want that to be there. I don't know too many other gimmicks I'd want to have there though. So I'm moving on to the next one, Pirate Ocean. This would be on a pirate ship, but the pirate ship you start on does not have the star. Instead, another pirate ship will come up, and you'll have to board that pirate ship, get their stars, and get back on your pirate ship before the other one either sinks or goes away. And of course, whenever that happens, the very next turn, another pirate ship would be there, so that way there's always a chance to get the star. But I think it would be cool. I don't know, just kind of random thing. And I guess that also leaves a chance for the board to be randomized as well. Because while the pirate ship that everyone starts on would be the same, the new pirate ship coming in where the star is would always be random because it's a new boat. And so I thought that would be cool. But then continuing on with that random of a theme, we got Dragon Spire Tower. I couldn't find the best picture to represent what I'd want it to be, but basically it's a medieval tower that's kind of castle themed, but also is medieval theme, also a bit of horror theme, like booze and ghosts and whatnot. I imagine it being similar to that one ghost board in Mario Party 8, where every time you enter a room, it's randomized, which I guess we just had that with Pirate Ocean. But why not, you know? And then Cosmic Tour, if I can speak. Basically, this one, something a little interesting. I want to mix the basically the gameplay you've been learning from like all the previous boards, but also throw in the cart mechanic from Mario Kart 9 and 10, which sounds insane. You might be thinking, no, it's stupid, but if you're going in a circle and just going for how many stars you want, that opens up strategic advantages. Because, like, now your role, if you can't make it, you could use it to mess up the next person. And I think that would be an interesting gimmick. Now, you might think some of these are a little too gimmicky. I know some people might want to stick to the first three, but I feel like it's always fun to try and come up with something completely new, unique, especially because in Super Mario Party, we did not get much of that. We really only got, like, different themes of boards, and that's it. But one more thing I want to mention, an unlockable board. I call it Bowser's Eternal Volcano. And it's basically like Goomba's Booty Boardwalk from Mario Party 8. Guess what Mario Party I played a lot of growing up? But it's basically that, but volcano themed. And you can use your coins to set different traps. But those different traps could be used to sabotage other players. And of course, the worse the trap you pay for to set, the more money it's going to cost. But then on top of that, whenever someone gets to Bowser and they pay him for a star, Bowser sends them back to the beginning, and then Bowser goes, well, obviously that was too easy, so he moves down the volcano a few more spaces. And so it's basically just an eternal volcano, like the name. And I feel like that would be super cool. A board that everyone's basically going the same direction, but they're encouraged to sabotage each other. And not only that, but Bowser, being as sinister as he is trying to make it increasingly difficult himself, which I feel like would be awesome. One more thing I wanted to mention real quick, because I realized I forgot to put it anywhere in here, but I think it wouldn't be too far fetched to add an 8 player version of Mario Party. Because, like, my one problem with Mario Party is that you can only do 4 people. So, whenever I'm at an actual party, I'd rather pull out Super Smash Bros. Because that can do up to 8 players, so I can include more of my friends. And playing Super Mario Party and seeing those mini games where your allies get to participate, it's like, why couldn't there be other actual humans playing this with me instead of just 3 others while a bunch of random computers are here too? So I think it'd be cool if there's like a side mode where like you could do one of these boards, but then have like specific 8 player mini games. And I know that would be kind of tough, but at the same time, I feel like there could be mini games that could easily work as either 8 player mini games or 4 player, and can easily be adapted to either or. And on top of that, a pass and play option where you can have as many characters as players as there are characters. Obviously, minigames would simply be turned off. But if you have one controller, you take that controller, you pass around, go around the board. Maybe you get a few more coins because you're not doing minigames. I don't know. Excuse me. But speaking of the mini games, here's what I would do for the mini games. First, I'm not going to go over every mini game I'd want to have in, especially because whenever I can think of a ton of mini games, I only think of like 2 or 3. So instead, I'm going to get across specific ideas. First and foremost, I want there to be an option of whether or not you want motion-based mini games. I remember playing, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Mario Party 7 with my cousins. And I remember it was like there is a microphone mini game, and it's like, do you want microphone mini games turned on or off? We always had them turned off, but I was like, I want to know it's the microphone mini games. And they could easily do that with the motion-based mini games. They could have a lot of fun mini games built around motion controls, but at the same time, you also borrow off to others who can't do it if that's the main primary focus. So having that option, I feel like would be great. I don't think Nintendo would ever do it, but of course, if I'm at the helm, we're doing it. On top of that, we'll have mini games from across the series. It's not going to be like Mario Party Superstars where all the mini games are from across the series. I think best case scenario is make as many new, unique, and original mini games as possible, but then fill it up with like just taking mini games from Mario Party Superstars and Super Mario Party and Mario Party 10. Of course, feel free to like do some new mini games return that hadn't returned already and HD those. But like this is an easy way to fill up the mini game roster, because like it's weird going from Mario Party the top 100 where it's like, oh, we have 100 mini games, to Super Mario Party where it's like we have 70, and then back to Mario Party Superstars where it's like we have 100 mini games. And it's like, honestly, I feel like Mario Party is at a point where if it doesn't always have over 100 mini games, then it sounds like it's underselling itself. Which I know that sounds like it could be way too much, but I don't know. I feel like that would be a great balance. And speaking of balance, there's never any single player content. So I want to take specifically what Mario Party the Top 100 did and basically do that. Super Mario Party had a similar thing to the Top 100 with its single player mode. It's basically the same concept, except it was literally just a straight line. Like, that's it. With Mario Party the Top 100, there's actual world maps, and you'd have to choose what challenges you want to do. And I feel like there's so much they could actually do. Mario Party could be so much more. And that's really a main thing I've thought a lot about with the future of Mario Party. That there's so much more they could be doing, but they aren't. They're barring themselves back. And I'm glad that they started working slowly but surely back to where they were and beyond. Like I feel like Mario Party Superstars is the first time where and you can debate whether or not like where it actually fell off, whether it was with Mario Party 8 or Mario Party 7 or whatever. Mario Party Superstars, I feel like, has just barely gotten us actually back to where we were. Super Mario Party was a return to form after Mario Party 9 and 10, but that was only baby's first steps. Mario Party Superstars took the full step, and now we're ready for the future. We're finally back to where Mario Party should have been. Now is the time to go even further. And that's really a lot of what I wanted to talk about today. With how much more Mario Party could be doing. That they could be utilizing their previous minigames a lot more to help create a bigger roster. They could be making Mario Party feel more special and unique. It's a party. But at the end of the day, I'm just a guy sitting here pretending I'm King of Flames. But that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know down below. I'm going to try and get videos out more frequently, but no promises. With all that being said, thank you for listening to me ramble about Mario Party for a little bit, and I'll catch you all later. Bye!